In this lecture example, we look at how to determine what the basic amount is. So guys, remember this is all principal driven. So we start with X Limited has a December year end, and the information below pertains to the 2008 or 20X8 year. Okay, so January until December. The first provisional tax payment is due 6 months into the year, 30 June. Right, and the second is due on the last day of the tax year. So, let's take a look at it. Information below relates to the 20X8 year. Right, X Limited received notice of its assessment for the 20X7 year on the 20th of June 20X8. The taxable income was 1.5 million and included a taxable capital gain of 200,000. X Limited received notice of its assessment for its 20X6 year on the 21st of April 20X7. Taxable income was 1,450. A. X Limited plans on paying the first provisional tax payment on the 30th of June. What is the basic amount that they will use for this? Right, so on the 30th of June 20X8, we want to now do this calculation. Okay, so see now the logic behind this. We are doing it for the 20X8 year. So you first start with the 20X7 year. Right, 20X7 year. When did we receive the assessment from SARS? The 20th of June. Now you compare the 20th of June to the 30th of June. You say, is that 14 days or more between them? In this case, no. So I'm going to say here, the 20X7 assessment not received 14 days or more before. So what does it mean? Thus may not use 20X7. So you can't use that tax year's amount. Then we go to 20X6. So 20X6, right? When did we receive this assessment? 21 April 20X7. Is 21 April 20X7 14 days or more before the 30th of June? Absolutely. It's more than a year ago. So this was received 14 days or more ago, thus may use. Now I want you to see what happens. You should say the basic amount is 1,450. You now need to decide if you have to increase that by 8%. So what you do, important now that you see, is you compare year end to year end. So what year are we using? 20X6. So we compare 31 December 20X6. You first compare that to the date of this payment, to 30 June 20X8. Right. So how long ago is that? I want you to see that is exactly 18 months. 18 months is 1 year and 6 months, 1.5 months. December 20X6 to December 20X7 is 1 year. Until the 30 June is 18 months. It's 18 months. If it is 18 months, so I'm going to make the comment here, adjustment. There's no adjustment as 20X6 is not more than 18 months ago. It must be more, not exactly. Okay, so 1,450 will be your basic amount. B then says, what is the basic amount for 31 December 20X6, so for the second provisional tax payment? Now guys, the reasoning here is exactly the same, the way in which we are going to approach it. But obviously we now have to just take into account the adjusted dates. Okay, so second provisional date is 31 December 20X8. Okay, so when we do the basic amount now, we again start with the previous tax year, 20X7. we say, when was the 20x7 one received? 20 June 20x8. Is that 14 days or more before the 31st of December? Yes, it is. So, as 14 days or more ago, may use. So your basic amount in this case, which you start with, is 1.5 million. They say it's a capital gain of 200,000 in there. Now you need to remember that any capital gain or lump sums from funds needs to be removed. So you're left with 1.3 million. Okay. Now you need to decide if you have to increase that by the 8%. So what do? You compare the year-end date that you are using, 20x7 year. So you compare 31 December 20x7 to the date we're making this payment. You say, is there more than 18 months? No, this is exactly 12 months. So there's no 8% adjustment as less than 18 months have passed. Okay, that's it, guys. Compare that now to example 2. Mr. G is a provisional taxpayer. The information below relates to Mr. G's 20x8 year of assessment. Mr. G received notice of the assessment for the 20x7 year on the 18th of September 20x7. Taxable income was 950. He received notice of the 20x6 year of assessment on the 18th of August. He had taken a long time to submit his 20x6 tax return due to some unforeseen circumstances. The taxable income was 880. Mr. G received notice of his 20x5 assessment on the 10th of November 20x5. Taxable income was 680. Now I ask you, what is the basic amount for the first provisional tax payment? This is due on the 31st of August because this is a natural person. So first is due 31 August 20x7. So I'm just reminding you guys what the issue or what you need to see here. It runs from March 20x7 to February 20x8. So 6 months into March 20x7 is 31 August 20x7. I'm just pointing this out to you because very often when they talk about the 20x8 year, people will say this is 31 August 20x8, and that's wrong. Okay, so that's the first one. Now we say, what is the basic amount? So how does it work, guys? We're doing it for the 20x8 year, so we start with the 20x7 year. The 20x7 year was received on the 18th of September. What date are we looking at now? 31 August. So the 20x7 one hasn't even been received yet. It will only be received in September. So not 14 days or more, thus not applicable. Can't use it. Go back 1 year to 20x6. 20x6 was received on the 18th of August. 20x7. Now guys, 31 August and 18 August, that's not more than 14 days. So we also can't use that one. Right? So we have to go to 20x5. 20x5 was received on the 10th of November 20x5. Is the 10th of November 20x5 14 days or more before the 31st of August 20x7? Yes. So 14 days or more, thus may use. Right, so see now what happens. This is where it gets pretty cool. Basic amount, 680,000 rands. Now you have to ask yourself, do I have to adjust it by 8%? So what do? Is you compare, you say, what is the year end that I'm looking at? 20x5 year, right. So you compare 31 December 20x5. You compare this to this date over here, the 31 August 20x7. You say, is it 18 months or is it more than 18 months? In this case, the answer is yes. All right, so now it is more than 18 months, so it means we have to adjust. So what you do then is you say, we are using the 20x5 year, we are now on the 20x8 year, there are 3 years between these, so we have to adjust this by 8% 3 times. So plus 8%, so this is for 20x5 to 20x6, plus 8% for 20x6 to 20x7 plus 8% for 20x7 to 20x8. Right, so 54,400, 54,400, 54,400. Right, 843,200. That is what our basic amount will be. Right, B. Now I want to know what is the basic amount for our second provisional tax payment. Okay, so I'm going to just do it over here. So second is due on the 28th of February, 20x8. So what do we start with? We start with the 20x7 here. We say, when was the 20x7 received? So you always just, can you see, always start again from the top. 20x7 was received on the 18th of September, 20x7. Is the 18th of September, 20x7 14 days or more before the 28th of February? Yes, it is. So we may use this. So your basic amount is 950,000. Do we have to adjust it by 8%? So what do you compare? You compare the year end that you're using, 20x7. So we are using 31 December, 20x7. You compare it to your payment date and you say, is it 18 months or more? In this case, it is not. Sorry guys, it's not 31 December 20x7. It's 28 February 20x7, obviously year end. It's exactly 1 year ago, so there's no need for adjustment. Right, sorry guys, also over here when I said 31 December 20x5, it's obviously just 28 February 20x5 that you compare. Right, so just obviously year end to year end. I just used December there as a year end instead of February, which I should. Alright guys, so that is basically it, as you can see. And we discuss it even further there. If you can do these, then you are waxed with basic amounts. Don't overstress this, guys. It looks like quite a bit of work here and stuff. It's not. I've tried to make it a little bit more complicated here. Not as often asked.